see the things from a euro dollar perspective. Now, dollar yen. We do have end of the fiscal year in Japan, right? We do have end of the fiscal year in Japan, and based on the monthly chart, we just hit supply based on the late 2018 activity. We hit supply. It's better visible on the weekly. All right. Now what? Let's get back to monthly again. Now what? It might happen that we are gonna to end up with huge doji because of the early January price action, right? So I can imagine that we will try to retest this supply again, and then we may try to go lower, right? So another attempt to rally may happen, and then lower. What about intraday price action? There is a strong intraday supply, or it was visible around this 21st of March high. There was a price action into the fix, so there was a strong rally into the fix, rejected, right? So we do have some stops. I believe we do have some stops from the intraday perspective below 110.52. At the same time, we do have this some kind of the manipulation formation over here. So what I do expect is that we may see price action down through these stops to retest this particular high, which has been broken yesterday during the New York session. All right, and the price action around these levels is gonna to probably give us an answer what next, right? But if we are gonna to see attempt to rally, right? Because we are acting right now right at supply, intraday supply, all right? But if we are gonna to see attempt to rally and retest again of this yellow line, right? I'm gonna to look for opportunity to try to short it again, at least from intraday perspective, for a move down towards 110.50, right? So I'm gonna to look to sell around 1080, 1090 with very tight stop to try to get back the price 110.50 to try to get back. Of course, I cannot move the market, but that's what I'm gonna to look for on this dollar yen. All right, pound. For a quite long time, till late 2018, or maybe even the very beginning of 2019, Theresa May been saying that no way they are They are leaving EU at 29th of the March. It looks like it's a date today. If I'm not mistaken, it's 29th of March 2019, and it doesn't look like UK is leaving EU today. Am I right? Huge mess. Plenty of different news, information, rumors, leaks, whatever, and finally, pound being hurt by this. And I have to be honest. Frankly speaking, yesterday I've been short pound. I've been on the right side on the pound. By my stop was too tight. I've been moved out of the market. I've been stopped out, and then only then they moved to the right side. Right, my stop was too tight. I had like 11 pips on this pound, and they kicked me out, and then they moved lower. It happened. I've been trying to attempt euro to break out of the range yesterday as well, and I haven't good day yesterday anyway. All right, so what now for the pound? The first important thing, you don't want to stay with the pound, doesn't matter long, short, over the weekend. That's what I think. That's what I think. Unless we are gonna to get something very, very clear, but still it might be corrected over the weekend. So the first important thing, in my opinion, different words. I'm not gonna be on a position I'm trying to be flat ahead of the weekend, and that's what's going to happen today probably as well. Probably, but for sure I'm not gonna stay with pound over the weekend. There is no good explanation to try to force myself to be on the pound either way, long or short, because I'm pretty sure whatever happened over the weekend, even if we are gonna to see gap up, gap down, there are gonna be plenty of opportunities next week to try to join the party, right? Now, what is important here, from the seasonality perspective, if you are gonna to check, you don't have to believe me, check yourself. April is usually positive for the pound, right? Why I'm telling you about this? Because what happened here, we, from the bears perspective, we saved 133 on a monthly basis, right? And we were able to push prices back down towards 130. Now, we as a bulls trying to defend 130, right? So it might end up that we are talking about the big range. We may see attempt, because of some kind of the Brexit, we might see attempt to break down. But if bulls are gonna be able to defend this 130, 129, and based on the seasonality, we may see April, the bulls will try to go higher towards 133 again. Now, it's not gonna be all about the Brexit only. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be about the dollar as well in April. So in case we have three figures in between 130, 133, right? So in case of the breakout, we are talking about 36 or 27 on this particular pair, right? So that's how I see the things. I think that the range for now, we are gonna to stay during the London session, maybe trying to fight this 130, 129.70 zone, right? But then it's all about UK politicians, right? Where we are gonna to end up the day. But be careful. It might happen that because of some rumors, leaks, whatever, we are gonna to try to break to the downside, and then they are gonna to clean everything up over the weekend, and suddenly on Sunday they're gonna be gap up, right? So be careful. I've seen this type of the stuff few times already. I'm not saying about the pound. I've seen on the market this type of the stuff. All right, so from the intraday perspective, where we are, that's where the first possible supply we have on the pound, right? 131. Why? Remember we were discussing 33, 32, the small range, intraday small range. Here. We broke through that zone, right? So there was one figure to the downside, 131. This one has been broken as well, another figure to the downside. Attempt to get back. So 31, 31, 25. That's first possible intraday supply. What about demand? Where do we have a demand? I think that if we are gonna to try to go lower, I think that we may see if it's going to happen without any news or something like this, we may see just stop hunting 29.90, 29.80, right? The zone over here, I mean the zone, the line over here, this double bottom. This something looks like double bottom, but we cannot call it double bottom because it's not right place, right? Double bottom should be at the bottom. So we may see stop count below 130, and there is some demand towards 29.70, right? So we may see some spike to the downside. Cannot rule it out, this stuff, okay? So supply up towards 31, 31.25, demand in case of stop counting below 130, possible demand. All right, so that's how the things looks here on three majors. And before we finish today, all latest data, EU latest data wasn't great, right? Interest rate differentials, another reason. Hard to say. Hard to find the positives for now for Euro bulls, right? We'll see. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Charts is saying one thing, that the bulls got the chance here on Euro. On the other hand, all these data's internal problems, yeah, they work against Euro. And Draghi is so happy seeing Euro below 113. So it may happen that we are going to see a stronger dollar in April as well. But yeah, let's see where we are going to end up with first quarter. All right. So the last thing is the crypto stuff. Is this consolidation on Bitcoin we discussed previously. All right. And what is interesting, of course, we still have whole day. What is interesting here, what is interesting here, if we are gonna be able, from the bull's perspective, right, to try to get back above this line, then this 4,200, 4,400 supply is gonna be under pressure. And again, if we are gonna to take out these levels, then 5,000 psychological level, and then 5,800 and 6,000, the breakdown level, may come into play the second quarter. As long as we are above 3,850, 3,800, the possible scenario to the upside very likely. The only thing I would watch around 4,200, 4,400 is any kind of the upper shadow on the daily chart. It might suggest that, okay, enough is enough, and we have to, before move higher, we have to retest some lower levels. All right, so that's how I see the things here on the Bitcoin. All right, so that's it from me today. So at the same time, it's end of the quarter, it's end of the month, and at the same time, it's almost end of our test period here with Light Forex. I mean, these our meetings. As I mentioned before, because during the March we were some meetings during the morning session, we were some meetings during the afternoon session. In addition, in April we are gonna have few meetings inside the webinar room, where I'm gonna to try to explain details of my strategies. Anyway, thank you very much for March. Invite you for April. You are more than welcome to join us in April. And be careful today. Don't be trapped, especially with the pound at the end of the quarter, end of the month, end of the week. Wish you beautiful weekend, and see you again Monday 8 a.m. CET. Have a great one. See you around.